The dulcet tones? No, it's not dulcet. There's nothing. That's edgy. That's getting us into a scrappy mode.
Okay, no? Yeah, scrappy. I just woke up. Okay. What are we fighting about?
It's a Jim and Terry show coming to you from the Hobbit Hole studio in downtown Bobcaygeon. Downtown? Is there a downtown in Bobcaygeon?
Well, it's a bigger downtown than Pevrola, where I'm from.
Okay, so it's all size does matter.
From there to here.
Size does matter when you're taking down the East Wing and building your ballrooms. It matters whether you have gold flake or solid gold. Size does matter on some measures. Does size matter in all things?
Well, you realize the ballroom's bigger than the White House, eh?
Yes. What's the square footage of that?
And that'll be the Trump ball house.
And the
ball house.
The Trump Roadhouse. Apparently they're going to have a WWE event.
Yeah.
Or mixed martial arts or something.
Yeah. When do you think he's planning on this thing being finished? Because you know it's going to be named after him or Melania
or
somebody.
Well, I'm hoping, dare I say this, I'm hoping he passes away gracefully or dignified, just drops and everything is left up to people to fix.
Okay, plan B.
Plan B, J.D. Vance takes over and we get even a bigger mess and he builds a bigger ballroom.
So plan C?
Plan C, okay.
I don't see
more frog suits in the streets.
I don't see a recovery. I mean, he's ruining absolutely everything. And I know people get mad at me looking at this, but just thinking about it. If you've got J.D. Vance in there, do you really want, can you stand even looking at him?
No, I cannot.
There's something smug about the guy. And I like his wife.
Now, we do have...
looks wise.
But we got an issue, which is that J.D. Vance has married a woman of Indian descent.
Yep.
So
faith.
Non-white. And the names are and I listened to this. I don't want to say the source, but... Nick Fuentes, if you've ever heard of the guy, he's a KKK type. And the irony of it all is that those who are anti-immigration have married people who are immigrants, including Trump.
Trump's 2 of his 3 wives were immigrants. Melania, there's a real good chance, got into the country illegally. And Trump's dad was an immigrant. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know why they're so against immigration. It's a fear it's a generated fear. I don't know if they actually fear it. And maybe that's how J.D. Vance can still share the same bedroom with his wife by saying to her, it's all a game, dear. It's all a game. We're just putting fear in everybody's lives so that they're going to think we're the only solution to the problem. Oh, where did that come from? Hitler. The solution to the problem.
And yet, for all the years of Trump's first administration, when people were saying, this guy's an authoritarian, be wary, people were saying, and there was a book written by somebody that published in the New York Times that said, don't worry, we've got guardrails. And they did have guardrails more than we thought in the first administration, but they're all gone. They knew what to change on the second time, and they knew how to get in.
If there's Americans that are still sleeping right now, I'm sorry. You're stupid. You're just stupid. Wake up. Take a look at what's happening. He's dismantling all those guardrails.
Yeah.
He is taking over your country. He's the Putin of North America. And then, of course, our poor country, Canada, yes, he'll go for that before he dies, if he stays healthy, if he's healthy.
So Canada is on the chopping block. So for all those naysayers who are saying, Carney's moving too slow, he's doing nothing, and we'd be better off with Poilievre, really, a guy who went into politics straight out of school, no work experience at all, is the leader of your opposition party? That's hard for me to accept that you find that individual who's not had any success in policy while under Stephen Harper. He's going to be your choice to go against Trump?
Well, this is part of the problem with the brilliant next generation, and I'm not being sarcastic here. They're smarter, they're brighter, but there's some things they just don't know. In other words, they would think it would be good for Poilievre, for instance, to be our prime minister, because Trump would like him.
Oh, boy.
Total opposite to why you and me don't want Poilievre to be the prime minister. We don't want a Trump in Ottawa. We don't want a puppet of Trump in Ottawa. And Trump basically said to Canada, get in line, or we're taking you over. So he wants to take our country. He rejoices in if we do or if we don't. Both cases, he wants control over Canada. So you don't want someone who's going to lick his butt. You don't want that. You want someone to stand up, and you don't want someone to broadcast what they're doing. That's why I like Carney. He's just gently going around the world.
Are we overreacting?
You and me?
Yes.
Well,
our support of Carney and our naysaying about Polyev and his incompetence, are we overreacting? Is there not something that Polyev can offer, or is he just, as they facetiously call him, Maple MAGA?
I think he's Maple MAGA. He proved that many years ago when he went against the law and supported lawlessness in our capital city. And, okay, I understand protest, but it turned into way more than protest. It ended up ruining businesses, wrecking people's lives and everything. That's not protest. Peaceful protest is you go home at night. You come back the next day. You go rent a room. You come back. You don't sleep in your truck in the middle of a road and shut down a city. That's not peaceful protest. So Polyev backed those people. He backed, well, for people like you and me, he backed the wrong horse.
What do you say to people who say that the protest, they got permits, it was all approved, they knew what they were doing, it was orderly, there were people on the bridges waving Canadian flags as the truckers pulled up?
Here's what I'll say.
Okay.
All right, you hire me as a contractor to come and do your plumbing. While I'm in there, I rape your wife. While I'm in there, I rob your bank account. Oh, but I had a license to come in and do your plumbing. So that's what happened. You have a license to protest. That's it. We all want that right to protest. Protest does not mean you harm others. It doesn't mean you keep a whole city awake at night. It doesn't mean that you bring in bouncy castles and everything else and decide we're not leaving because you or a truck driver doesn't have a job right now.
So we always said, you and I...
And that was from COVID.
Well, COVID is still raising its ugly head in terms of people who believe that Trudeau took away their freedom. That's still the line that's being talked about. This is now going on 4 years later, 3.5 years later. It's Trudeau's fault. He took away our freedom. It's the Liberals. It's Carney's, just like Trudeau, F Carney. What do you say to those people who believe that the truckers were a peaceful, patriotic assembly?
Second World War. You weren't allowed to have your lights on at night because we were afraid of being bombed. We didn't have the technology we have today. Oh, you took away our freedom? But at that time, people understood collectively our freedoms need to be impaired briefly so that we can win a stinking war. What happened with COVID, our freedoms did have to be impaired briefly so that we could win that war on COVID and then bring things back. We have freedom, and we're such a tyrant country. They still went out and still got COVID, still killed people in old age homes, still went out and did anything they wanted, so they weren't thrown in jail. It's just that certain government officials, they had to start there and say, you need to wear a mask and you need to have a shot. And I will point out again, our officials, our leaders got shots. So what? Now you're really going to go down the conspiracy hole and say, oh, they got a different shot than what we got. No, they did not. You're just listening to the wrong people.
Now, I'm asking you these questions because I had a rather, not heated on my end, but people yelling and screaming at me, talking these very points that you have, in my opinion, you've given the counter argument, and that's all we can do is point out some of the inconsistencies with that position. But they are alive and well. This support Pierre Poilievre, this whatever you called his brand of Trumpism, authoritarianism, the guy who's living rent-free in the housing provided by the Canadian tax people.
What is it, a 19-room mansion he lives in?
Yeah, I don't see him giving it up.
No, and it's funny. Down in the States, they have a bunch of people that have bought into this, what's it called, sovereign citizen thing.
Yes.
Same idea. So those people don't believe that they have to obey any of the laws.
No.
So... therefore, you don't need police officers, I guess, because they don't believe any of the laws apply to them, because they're sovereign citizens. Same argument applies with all the rules that the governments have to make. We've never been freer, quite frankly, even through COVID. It was only a time to get through it. That's all it was. And when we got through it, sure, we suffered. You can't shut down a country and not suffer.
Global pandemic.
And we're going to suffer under Trump. And so
global Trump-demic.
We're going to have to talk about the budget because things are not going to be good right now.
It's not going to be good. Jim and Terry Show signing off. Bye-bye.